morning, everybody. And look forward to this very interesting workshop today. It is always a pleasure to be back in Chandigarh, a city of which I have very fond memories from my childhood. And I am grateful to the Honorable Mayor, Mr. Modgir. Yeah, that is all. Yeah, I am grateful to the Honorable Mayor, Mr. Modgir, Mr. Yadav, the Municipal Commissioner, and IELTS CEO, Mr. Gupta, for having invited me here. And I hope you find this, the presentation that I have, interesting, and maybe it sort of leads to some more discussions and maybe some action also. So I will be presenting IFC's view on the urban sector challenges in India, and broadly this presentation is broken into three parts. First is who are we, or what is IFC? Second is the urban sector challenge as we see it, and then third is IFC's experience in the sector. So going to who we are. IFC is the International Finance Corporation and a part of the World Bank Group. The World Bank Group as such is part of three organizations, separate organizations, collectively called the World Bank Group, of which the better known ones are the IBRD and the IDA, which work with the governments of the world. IFC's mandate also is similar, that is to promote development solutions, but we seek to do that through working with the private sector organization and the local governments. And that is, we do without sovereign guarantees. Now, to explain further what does IFC do, we basically there are three core pillars of IFC's work. First, of course, is financial viability. So we hope to work in projects. We do commercial lending and commercial investment or investments on commercial lines. But money alone or funds alone are not important. So we have a finance plus approach, and that plus is the additionality that we bring to the project. Are we able to do things better, newer? Are we able to create markets and do stuff which was not done earlier? But at the same time, we want to do this by upholding very high standards of environment, social, corporate governance. So these three things lead to a lot of selectivity in the kind of work that we do and the kind of impact that we want to see in the world. Now, to achieve this, we have the delivery platform that IFC has. One, of course, is the funding. We provide both debt funding and equity funding, and also quasi mezzanine, everything in between. We do risk mitigation, we do capacity building, knowledge and innovation, and standard and policy setting. Now, going on to IFC's work in India. India is a founder member of IFC, and IFC has been working in India since 1958. Since then, we have committed about $15 billion of investments in India, and at present we have about 200 plus clients across the length and breadth of the country. So if you look at this graph, what I'd like to highlight is that a lot of the large, well-known corporates in India have been IFC's clients at a particular point of time. HDFC, IFC was a founder member of HDFC in '78, IDFC, Jet Airways, Tata Steel, Bandhan Bank, Byju's, Big Basket, they're all or have been IFC's clients. This is an overview of IFC's investments and activities in India in the recent past. Last year we did about $2.6 billion of investment in the country across 38 deals across a range of sectors. We did manufacturing, agriculture services, infrastructure, financial institutions, and technology. On the advisory side, like investment, again on the advisory side, India is IFC's largest client. At present, we have about 21 projects running, and overall, the program is about $61 million. We work across a range of sectors. Some of the well-known work that we've done in this area is the Ease of Doing Business report. We've done the Gujarat Solar Rooftop program. We've done a PPP program in Jharkhand Diagnostics, and there are many other similar programs. Now, I briefly touch on the urban sector challenge as we see it, though I of course expect that this will be covered by other people also. So, as most of us would be aware, India is undergoing a rapid urbanization, and by 2050, 50% of the world's population and India's population will be in urban centers. And what this leads to is that, this leads to a huge need for finance to fund these investments in urban services and urban facilities. McKinsey estimates that about $1.2 trillion are needed in India by 2030. And for this, the capacity within ULBs, the urban local bodies, is severely limited. In 2007-8, only about 3% of the overall fund requirements of urban local bodies was commercially raised. The rest was all government grants or transfers. And this leads to a low level of services that the cities offer to its citizens. What we see the need here is that ULBs must sort of move out from their dependence on government grants. There must be more commercial financing, and there must be a greater involvement of the private sector. As per the Smart Cities program, also about 25% of the finances is supposed to be raised from commercial means or from PPP. So the way we see it, the way forward is for the cities to have a long-term development plan, and along with it to build a financing program to support that the master plan for development. And the way we see what we would ideally like to see is for cities to sort of develop the financing plan, which sort of looks at city revenue enhancement through sort of raising its own funds. From there, moving on to fiscal support on some priority areas from the government, and greater involvement of the private sector in providing services and funding services. But what that would also need is a greater capacity in the urban local bodies and the state urban departments in being able to regulate these private sector players who are providing these services. So ideally, to implement a successful smart city, we need to have the city government, the national government, the development banks, and the private sector working in tandem, supporting each other, and focusing on things that each can do best, so that we achieve the smart city program. Now, what is IFC's value add in this area? So, since early 2000, IFC has invested about $12 billion in about 350 urban projects across 60 countries. And our offering for a city can basically be divided into three buckets. The first is the core financial products, where we offer loans, we offer credit enhancements, bond issuances, and mobilize third-party resources. We also work with cities to arrange funds for technical advisory. We provide knowledge and support, and we provide technical advisory through PPP and technical best practices and environment social services to various city governments. For India, based on our assessment, I think what we see is areas where we can contribute best. Is in the areas of wastewater recycling, green buildings, solar rooftop, urban transport including electric vehicles, solid waste, and dump site remediation. We've been working with some of the state governments and urban bodies in this area, and I'll sort of expand upon this later. So when it comes to finance, we also offer financing abilities to the state government, to the urban local bodies, and some highlights there. IFC can either fund direct projects with state governments, or it can fund portfolio of projects. We provide commercial financing, but we can offer a lot of add-on benefits like long tenure, we can collateral-free loans, access to donor funding, and free advisory services that go with it. We do not insist on any procurement prompts, and we pride ourselves on the fact that we can deliver quickly to our client needs. So broadly, the areas which we can work is, we have been working with cities in smart city planning, project advisory for smart cities, and smart city financing. The first two we've already in discussion, working with a lot of cities, but on the smart city financing, in India, we still have to sort of make a beginning. Now, these are some case studies. So this is a case study of a city called Izmir in Turkey, where we, since 2010, have invested over $500 million in the country, in the city, across 12 projects, broadly into 3 buckets: urban transport, wastewater, and waste management. And we have, since the last 8-9 years, progressively engaged with the city to do projects of increasing challenge and increasing complexity, leading to overall improved quality of life for the residents. In India, we have done similar work with the city of Bhubaneswar in Odisha. Some of the projects that we've done there is we did the first citywide ESCO project in Bhubaneswar. We did the first megawatt scale distributed rooftop solar project in Bhubaneswar, which is now being adopted by MNRE and has been recommended for other cities. We've done an affordable housing project where there's a cross-subsidy model which is now being implemented across other states. We also helped rehabilitate a network of primary healthcare centers and a greenfield hospital in a PPP project. In addition to that, we worked with the municipal corporation to develop their smart city proposal, and Bhubaneswar recently stood first in the smart city challenge program because of the work that we've done with them. So these are some of the international examples of work we've done. I'll go over these very quickly. So we worked on both funding and also advising municipality in China on a waste to energy project. With Istanbul in Turkey, we funded and advised on a metro line project. Johannesburg, we did a municipal bond issuance. In Bogota, we did a bus system upgrade, both funding and advising the local body on it. In Montenegro, we provided a 12-year loan for a roads improvement project. In South Africa, we did a municipal loan to Buffalo City. Again, in South Africa, we invested in a housing fund to promote affordable housing. In Izmir, as I already mentioned, we supported a tramway project. And lastly, we did the first PPP project in Rajasthan, which is the first project on a true savings model rather than an assumed saving model in Jaipur. So with that, I come to the end of my presentation. Happy to answer questions later and speak to interested parties. Thank you.